What's up guys, my name is Ivan Valdovinos, and on this channel I provide tips, tricks, advice, and strategies for your graduate school applications. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. Congratulations! Most of you at this point should have already heard about a decision for your graduate school admissions if you applied for this academic year. And for those who got accepted, congratulations. The next step, especially if you got accepted into multiple programs, is deciding on which program to attend. And so today I am going to share with you my thought process in terms of how I decided to attend the University of California, San Diego for my PhD program. Let's get started. For the 2020-2021 academic year, I applied to 10 PhD programs. I was accepted into half of those programs. So my acceptances were as follows: the University of Wisconsin, Michigan State University, the University of Texas, Austin, the University of Arizona, Tucson, and the University of California, San Diego. I was rejected from the following schools: Harvard University, Stanford University, Vanderbilt University, University of Maryland, and the University of Washington. So I applied to these 10 schools for a number of reasons. So one of them was the ranking. So I was looking for a program that was really good at education policy or higher education, because those were the two fields that I was interested in and doing a career in those fields. And so I wanted to go to a program where it was highly ranked because I knew that faculty members were going to be well known there, and I was going to get the best training I could to assume senior level positions in the field of higher education or education policy. And the other reason why I chose these schools was because of the location, whether it was because it could provide me with a bunch of opportunities, or because of the weather, or because of the population of people I wanted to study and work with. Though that kind of made up my decision to apply to these 10 programs. So let's start off with my first program, the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I applied for the Education Policy Studies program, and it got accepted, obviously. So the thing that I like about this program was that the faculty member who I was assigned to as my first year mentor, if I would have accepted, was a person who did research in the field that I wanted to pursue. And so I liked that about it because I wrote about her in my statement of purpose, and I was assigned to her at least for my first year when I was accepted. The reason why I ended up not going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison was because of location. So location, it's in Madison, Wisconsin, and I've only been to Milwaukee, liked Milwaukee, but I was only there for a weekend, so I couldn't tell that much. So I've never been to Madison, and I just know that Wisconsin's in the middle of nowhere, and I was assuming that there was not a lot of Latinos, and that's the population of students that I want to work with and research. And so that was one reason why I chose not to go. The other reason was because I did not get any funding. So if you watch my other video on my Wisconsin funding package offer, then you will know why I didn't accept. I received no funding, and that was it. The second program I was accepted to was Michigan State University in their higher education PhD program. And the reason why I applied to this was because at the moment, last year, it was ranked number 2 in the higher education programs nationally, and so I liked that, and so I knew I was going to get a quality education, and I was going to get trained to assume a research role or conduct quality research in higher education. The reason why I chose not to attend was because location, again, it's in Lansing, Michigan. I've never been to Michigan, and I'm assuming that there's not that many Latinos in Lansing, Michigan, which is the population that I want to research and study. They did offer me a pretty good package, I'm not going to lie. They offered me a fellowship of $3,000 for 4 years, as well as a 2-year assistantship, which would cover my tuition, living expenses, as well as health insurance. But the reason why I decided not to go was because it was only a 2-year fellowship, and I was looking for a 4 to 5 year fellowship depending on the duration of the program, and that would make me feel more secure. And so because it was only a 2-year assistantship, I didn't feel like it was a good fit for me funding wise. Additionally, the research mentor that I received when I was accepted wasn't the one that I chose. And so I didn't like that because at that university in particular and that program in particular, there was really only one faculty member when I was reading the bios that really fit with what I wanted to do. And because I wasn't assigned to that person, I was not liking that, and so I ended up not choosing for that reason as well. The University of Texas in Austin was actually my top choice school. And initially I was put on a wait list. So I came off the wait list and it was pretty, I learned about getting off the wait list, months in advance after I had already been accepted to other schools and had offers. And so right off the bat, I didn't like that I was put on the wait list, taken off the wait list, and then offered the funding package and my mentor. They did provide me with a good, solid funding package. So they gave me $40,000 fellowship, which is split into 4 years, and they gave me a $2,000 or $3,000 summer fellowship as well for my first year. So that's not that bad. The only problem was that they didn't offer me a guaranteed assistantship, which would cover my tuition, living expenses, and health insurance. So I had to do extra work to attain an assistantship, which I wasn't fond of. And so that's why the University of Texas was really low on my decision making, just because of those factors. But you know what? I did like their research. They have a research center which focuses directly with my research interests, and I like that. That's why it was my top choice. Unfortunately, also, I did not receive the research mentor that I wrote about in my SOP, and so that also steered me away from this offer. The University of Arizona was actually one of my top choices as well. It was in my top 3, and the reasons why was because I already had a connection with this institution, the program, the faculty, and so I wanted to take advantage of that. So like I mentioned before, I did have a summer research internship at the University of Arizona, and so I was able to connect with the mentor, who is still my mentor now, and I was actually talking to him, throughout my process. And he was influential in getting me accepted to this PhD program, and so I liked that. I've already been there. I visited Tucson for 3 months. I was there as an undergraduate researcher, and I got to know the campus and the city pretty well. And so I liked that because I was already familiar with the institution, the program, and faculty. Additionally, I had a friend who was accepted the previous year who's attending now, and so I was able to gain more insight about the program from her first-hand experience. Also, they invited me and paid for my flight to go visit when I was accepted, which I did go, and I was able to kind of reconnect with my faculty mentor, current students. I attended a class in the higher ed program, and so I was able to get a first-hand experience of what it would be like if I would attend as a PhD student, and I really liked it. It felt like I was back in 2013 when I first visited the University of Arizona, and so it was in my top choice. Also, my faculty mentor, he was going to provide me with a research assistantship with him on a project he was working, and so I liked that because I would cover my tuition, provide me with a living stipend, and health insurance. Unfortunately, though, the pandemic hit, he lost his funding, and that offer was off the table after a couple of, I think it was like a month, he let me know. And so that, at the end of the day, steered me away from this school, this program, because of the funding that was not guaranteed anymore. Finally, the last program that I was accepted into, and now I'm a current PhD student there, is the University of California, San Diego. I'm a first-year PhD student there, and they were clearly the best program for me, not only because of location, but also funding package. So location, it's in San Diego. There's a large population of Latino people there, and San Diego's just, it reminds me of Mexico. I went to go visit, and I really liked it. And so I can see myself living there and eating all the great food, visiting the beach, and just having a really good social life there, obviously post-pandemic. And so I really liked that about San Diego. Also, the funding package that I received was awesome. They gave me a 5-year breakdown of exactly what I was going to receive, and it provided me with guaranteed assistantship, plus a living stipend, plus tuition remission, and health insurance for 5 years. So I really liked that. Also, the first year of my PhD program, they offered extra perks. So they also gave me a $5,000 summer fellowship, in addition to $500 for a travel stipend to conferences. So no other program offered me something like that, and it was clear that it was the best program for me for those reasons. And so right now I'm currently in the program. I'm happy about it, and I've been having a good time, learning a lot, and I think I made a really good choice. Alright, so that ends my video on how I chose the University of California, San Diego as my PhD program. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a like and subscribe. Share with a friend that's currently going through the process or is planning on applying in the next couple of years. Let them know about this video, this channel, that way they're able to gain some insight. Again, congratulations on your acceptances, and I will see you in the next video.